If you feel like you're always revamping your marketing plan or like you never seem to get it right, this session is for you. I am going to talk a little bit about how you can ensure that you choose the right marketing, and if you have a tactic that's not working for you, how you can pivot away from that tactic quickly without losing a ton of time, energy, and money on something that's not working. Let's dig in. I'm super excited to be here with you today on the Amplified Network. I'm Courtney Gulster, digital entrepreneur, agency owner, and marketing guru. I work heavily in the B2B space, helping firms scale in a way that digitally supports the sales process. So today we're talking a little bit about what is holding you back from getting your marketing right and how you can choose the best marketing for your business, which is more of an art than a science, if we're being completely honest. And I think it really starts with evaluating what you're doing and stopping that mindset that you need to do everything, right? So the first thing that we often assess when sitting down with a new client is, what are you doing? And is that actually supporting where you want to be? And is that maybe something you enjoy doing, but not something that is effectively moving the needle for you? There are lots and lots of tactics out there that are fun and exciting and new, and that can make you feel like you have to implement them for your business or you're going to be left behind in the dust. And in reality, you need to stop trying to do everything and be everything to everyone and really dial it back into who your target audience is, how you can reach them best, and what are you doing to supplement your existing sales process? So that's always going to be step two. So step one is to stop trying to do everything and be everything to everyone. Step two is to assess your target market and to work through your sales process with your sales team. So those are two tactics, two pieces of the sales process that you as a marketer need to understand, or as a business owner need to understand, and need to work to bring cohesion between your marketing and sales. You need to sit down, really drill down into who your target market is. What is their title? What organizations are they working for? Where are they active online? Where are they going to be receptive to your message? And then map out each step of your sales pipeline so that you can really start to see where the marketing can make a difference. Now, once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is start evaluating what you're doing now. Are those tactics that you're implementing now actually moving the needle forward for the sales process? For if you're listening to this, you're probably working with a limited marketing and sales budget. So you need every dollar to really be driving home to the end goal, which is to create more business for your company. So what's working, what's not, and what does your team actually enjoy doing? It's important to assess that step as well, because it's going to help you identify what you're really good at doing. And maybe there are things that you should be doing that you're just not good at, that you should be outsourcing. So evaluate what you're doing now. You don't have to make any decisions at this step of the process. But then start thinking about, now that you've assessed what you're doing, you've assessed what your sales process is, now start thinking about what you should be doing. What do you think you should be doing based on your knowledge and experience and the information and data that you've gathered through this process so far? What should you be doing to supplement the sales process better? It doesn't mean you're going to implement all of that right now or even ever, but let's create a list so that we have a place that we're starting from. Once you assess all of these different things, so you've got a huge list now of tactics, you need to assess how much bandwidth you have and how fast you actually need to grow, because that's going to dictate not only what you implement and how you implement it, but whether or not you need to either allocate some of your budget to outsource or cut back on what you're doing so that you can create some balance between budget, timeline, and growth. So assessing those things is going to just give you a bigger picture. It's really all about the numbers. The tactics that you pick is more of an art, but what you can implement is always going to be based on the numbers. One of my children is trying to enter my office. Once you assess those things, you can identify how much budget you would need to outsource some of those tactics that are overflow or that your team can't handle or can't do. And then you can make an informed decision on whether or not that's feasible. So once you've done all of these things, you've taken all of these steps, you've assessed the data, you've assessed the tactics, you understand what speed you can move at with your internal team and what you would ideally outsource if you could. You assess your budget, and then you're going to make a plan. I always recommend putting this plan into a spreadsheet because it's an easy place to kind of keep that foundational structure of your plan for the next 12 months in one place. And you can refer back to that. But in terms of implementation, I always recommend using a digital project management tool. My team really likes Asana. There's tons of them out there, like Monday.com, Zoho. There's tons and tons and tons of different ones. We have tried a ton of them. For the way that my brain works and the way that my team works, we really like Asana. It works really well for us as an agency. But there's a lot of different things. ClickUp even is one. I've tried it. I didn't like it. No shame to the ClickUp users out there, though, because I know a lot of my fellow entrepreneurs use that platform. I am just not a fan. It doesn't work for the way my brain works. I love Asana. It's very simple and easy to use. I love that it's got the time tracking plugin with EverHour, which we need as an agency. But test a few of them out. They usually have free trials that you can use to identify what's going to work for you. And you really want to make sure that whatever tool you choose, it's one that you're going to use, because every tool in the world could be a great supplement to your business, but it means nothing to you if you're not actually using it. So decide based on what you think you would actually use. And then it's time to implement. So build out the step-by-step strategy in your digital project management tool of what you need to do and when you need to do it by, and build it out in 90-day chunks. I am a huge fan, which I'll get into in a separate video, of planning in 90-day segments. We usually set a plan for 12 months at a time, and then we implement and then reassess in 90-day chunks. The reason why we do that is that a lot can change in 90 days. You can have a huge pipeline and need to scale back. You can be seeing no results and need to completely change what you're doing. You can identify that certain tactics are working really well and you just want to keep focusing on those. So 90-day segments are very important. Having an overall plan that you can turn back to and say, okay, now it's time to implement this, or we had planned to implement this, but we don't have the bandwidth for it. It's just helpful to kind of have that trackability so that you don't feel like your brainstorming session went to waste and now you need to brainstorm again because it's been another 90 days. Brainstorm once, implement continuously. So then, reevaluate and adjust in 90 days. And so when you do that, when you reevaluate and adjust in 90 days, as opposed to setting a 12 to 18 month plan that you're trying to stick to and implement just for the sake of implementing, you give yourself the bandwidth to be able to pivot. There are economic changes that can happen in 90 days. There are staffing changes that can happen in 90 days. And so not holding yourself necessarily accountable to the exact plan that you set, but instead holding yourself accountable to getting results with the budget and bandwidth that you have is very helpful. And it's a lot easier when you plan in 90-day segments. I hope that's super helpful for you guys. Please feel free to subscribe. We have tons of content coming out helping you to build a sustainable marketing strategy that supports the sales process in the B2B space. I will see you next time, and I will drop my email in the comment section. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out.